From World War II skies to modern jet battles, MiG fighters have faced real enemies in real wars. These machines were not just built for parades, they were built to fight. Some shocked the world, some changed air combat forever. Others still fly into danger today. Which MiG proved the deadliest? Which survived against impossible odds? This is the true story of combat-proven MiG aircraft. The MiG-1 was the first fighter built by the Mikoyan Design Bureau and entered service during World War II. It was created to stop enemy bombers flying high over Soviet cities and factories. The aircraft was fast for its time and could climb quickly to high altitudes. It used a powerful piston engine and was armed with machine guns for air combat. However, the MiG-1 was hard to control and unstable at low speeds. This made it risky in close dogfights. Even with these flaws, it helped defend Soviet airspace in the early war years. The MiG-1 also marked the birth of the MiG fighter family, which later became famous worldwide. The MiG-3 was the most important early MiG fighter of World War II. It was built to hunt enemy bombers flying high above Soviet territory. At high altitude, it was one of the fastest fighters in the Soviet Air Force. It had a strong engine, long wings, and heavy machine gun armament. The MiG-3 performed well in air defense missions, especially over major cities like Moscow. But most battles on the Eastern Front happened at low altitude. There, the MiG-3 was slower and less agile than German fighters like the Bf-109. Even so, it played a key role in protecting Soviet skies during the critical early years of the war. The MiG-9 was the first operational jet fighter built by the Soviet Union. It marked the start of the jet age for Soviet air power. The aircraft used two turbojet engines and could fly much faster than piston-engine fighters. While it saw limited service in the USSR, it was sent to China during the late Chinese Civil War. Chinese pilots used it for air patrols and air defense missions. The MiG-9 had problems with engine reliability and gun firing near the air intakes. These issues limited its combat performance. Still, it was a historic step forward. It paved the way for later MiG jets like the famous MiG-15. The MiG-15 was one of the most important jet fighters ever built. It entered service in the late 1940s and quickly proved its power during the Korean War. The aircraft was fast, could climb very high, and was heavily armed with cannons made to destroy bombers. Over Korea, MiG-15 pilots fought fierce jet battles against American F-86 Sabres in an area called MiG Alley. These fights showed the world that jet air combat had truly begun. The MiG-15 was also used later in the Vietnam War and in several Arab-Israeli wars. Simple, strong, and deadly, it helped shape modern air warfare and made the MiG name famous around the world. The MiG-17 was an improved version of the MiG-15 and became one of the most successful early jet fighters in history. It was slightly slower than newer jets, but much more agile in close air combat. During the Vietnam War, North Vietnamese pilots used the MiG-17 to fight American aircraft like the F-4 Phantom II. In tight dogfights, its sharp turning ability gave it a real advantage. The MiG-17 was also widely used in Arab-Israeli wars, where it flew both air combat and ground attack missions. It was easy to maintain and very rugged, which made it popular with many air forces. Proven in real battles, the MiG-17 earned a strong reputation as a tough and reliable fighter. The MiG-19 was the first supersonic fighter built by the Mikoyan Design Bureau. It could fly faster than the speed of sound, marking a major step forward in air combat technology. The aircraft saw real combat during the Vietnam War, where North Vietnamese pilots used it mainly for short-range interception missions. It was fast and powerful, but had a short range and suffered from engine reliability problems. The MiG-19 was also used by Arab air forces in several Middle East conflicts, flying both air defense and ground attack missions. Even with its flaws, it proved that supersonic fighters were now part of modern warfare. It helped bridge the gap to later MiGs like the famous MiG-21. The MiG-21 is one of the most famous and widely used fighter jets ever built. Designed in the 1950s, this small, fast, supersonic aircraft became the backbone of many air forces. It was simple, easy to maintain, and very quick in a straight line. The MiG-21 saw combat in more wars than almost any other jet fighter. In the Vietnam War, it fought American F-4 Phantoms and scored air victories. In the Indo-Pakistan Wars, it helped India gain air superiority. It was used in Arab-Israeli wars, the Iran-Iraq War, African conflicts, and even the Yugoslav Wars. Trusted by dozens of countries, the MiG-21 became the most battle-proven MiG of all time. The MiG-23 was a major step forward in Soviet fighter design. It was the first MiG to use variable sweep wings, which could change shape in flight. This allowed the jet to fly fast at high speed and stay stable at low speed. The MiG-23 was built as a fighter and interceptor and was used by many countries. It saw real combat in Arab-Israeli wars, where it flew air combat and strike missions. In the Iran-Iraq War, Iraq used it for interception and ground attack. During the Soviet-Afghan War, it flew bombing and close air support missions. It was also used in African conflicts by Angola, Ethiopia, and Libya. Fast, flexible, and tough, the MiG-23 proved itself across many battlefields. The MiG-25, known as the Foxbat, was one of the fastest military aircraft ever built. It was designed as a high-altitude interceptor and razvedka aircraft to chase enemy bombers and spy planes. The MiG-25 could fly over Mach 2.8 and climb to extreme heights. Its speed shocked Western air forces during the Cold War. It saw real combat in Arab-Israeli wars, flying high-speed reconnaissance missions over Israel. In the Iran-Iraq War, both sides used it for interception, and it scored confirmed air-to-air kills. During the 1991 Gulf War, an Iraqi MiG-25 shot down a U.S. Navy FA-18 Hornet. Not agile, but incredibly fast, the MiG-25 proved its value through speed, altitude, and survival. The MiG-27 was a powerful ground attack aircraft based on the MiG-23 fighter. It was built to support troops on the ground, not to fight enemy jets. The aircraft had a strong airframe, heavy armor, and a large cannon for close combat. It could carry bombs, rockets, and guided weapons to hit enemy targets at low altitude. The MiG-27 saw real combat during the Soviet-Afghan War, where it struck supply routes, caves, and enemy bases in the mountains. Its speed allowed fast attack runs, but it also faced danger from anti-aircraft fire and shoulder-fired missiles. Later, Sri Lanka used the MiG-27 in its civil war to bomb rebel positions. Tough, fast, and deadly, it proved the MiG family could excel in ground warfare too. The MiG-27 was a powerful ground attack aircraft built from the MiG-23 fighter, but it had a very different mission. It was designed to support soldiers on the ground, not to fight enemy jets in the air. The aircraft had a strong and reinforced body, heavy armor to protect the pilot, and a large cannon for close combat. It could carry a wide range of weapons, including bombs, rockets, and guided missiles, allowing it to strike enemy targets with great force at low altitude. The MiG-27 saw real combat during the Soviet-Afghan War. Soviet pilots used it to attack supply routes, caves, and enemy bases hidden in rough mountain terrain. Its high speed allowed fast and deadly attack runs, giving enemies little time to react. However, flying low also made it dangerous. The MiG-27 often faced fire from anti-aircraft guns and shoulder-fired missiles. Later, the Sri Lankan Air Force used the MiG-27 in its civil war. It played a major role in bombing rebel positions and supporting ground troops during key battles. Its strong design and heavy firepower made it very effective in this role. Tough, fast, and hard-hitting, the MiG-27 proved that the MiG family was not only about air combat. It showed that MiG aircraft could also dominate the battlefield from the ground. The MiG-29, known as the Fulcrum by NATO, was one of the Soviet Union's most advanced fighter jets of the Cold War. It was built for air combat and designed to win dogfights against enemy aircraft. The jet had two powerful engines, strong radar, and modern missiles, giving it high speed, quick climb, and great agility. It was especially dangerous at close range, where its sharp turning ability gave pilots a real advantage. The MiG-29 saw real combat during the 1991 Gulf War. Iraqi MiG-29s faced US and Allied aircraft, but they were outmatched by better technology and training. Even so, these battles proved the MiG-29 was willing to fight against top Western jets. It was later used in the Kosovo War, where Serbian pilots flew it against NATO air power. In Africa, MiG-29s fought intense air battles against Ethiopian Su-27s during the Eritrea-Ethiopia War. These clashes became one of the rare modern jet versus jet conflicts between two developing nations. Today, the MiG-29 is still flying in real combat in the Ukraine conflict. Both Ukrainian and Russian forces use it for air defense, interception, and strike missions. Fast, agile, and deadly, the MiG-29 has proven itself across decades of war, making it one of the most battle-tested modern MiGs in history. The MiG-31, known as the Foxhound, is a powerful long-range interceptor built to protect huge areas of airspace. It was designed to replace the older MiG-25 and to stop enemy bombers, spy planes, and cruise missiles before they could reach their targets. The aircraft can fly at extreme speeds, often above Mach 2.5, and at very high altitudes. It carries one of the most powerful radars ever fitted to a fighter, allowing it to track many targets at long distances. It also uses long-range missiles that can destroy enemy aircraft far beyond visual range. The MiG-31 has seen real combat use in the Ukraine conflict. Russian forces have used it for air patrols, long-range interception, and strike missions. In some attacks, MiG-31s have launched hypersonic Kinjal missiles against high-value targets, showing how this Cold War aircraft has been adapted for modern warfare. The MiG-31 is not built for close dogfights. It is large, heavy, and not very agile. Its true strength is speed, range, and long-distance strike power. Even decades after its first flight, the MiG-31 remains one of the fastest and most feared interceptors in the world. From slow-piston fighters to hypersonic missile carriers, MiG aircraft have written a brutal, real combat legacy across decades of war. And the story is not over yet. Subscribe now, because the next chapter of this battlefield history is coming soon.